Good morning, everybody. I hope you've had a good week. If you look behind me, it's still dark. It's Friday morning when I'm recording this assembly. When you watch, it'll be Friday afternoon. Today's a bit of a special day because many of you will be watching this in your pyjamas. So, bear with me. I've got mine ready to go. I've not got it on yet. I'll put it over my clothes, so that's mine ready to go. A very good cause, because today is Children in Need Day, and if you watch BBC later on after school, you'll be able to watch lots and lots of programmes that raise lots and lots of money for lots and lots of children who, do you remember last week when we talked about taking things for granted? Lots and lots of children who can't take things for granted because they haven't got the kind of things that many of us do take for granted. So a really, really good cause, and thank you for donating, and hopefully you're having a lovely Children in Need Day. But let me tell you about another important thing. I had a lovely start to the week this week. So at 10 o'clock on Monday morning, I was next door at the cathedral with a group of our children, Miss Beachy and Miss Lucas, for an event where, probably about 12 schools came to the cathedral and us, all to do some sign language singing. But there was also a very important message, because alongside Children in Need this week, it's also Anti-Bullying Week. So what our schools chose to do, and one of our schools who we work closely with, Notty Ash, their head teacher called Rowan, had this great idea that she'd bring us all together to talk about bullying and the damage that bullying can do, but also celebrate our children and through sign language, and it was a really, really nice morning. So I thought that we'd start our assembly this morning by talking about bullying. And if you go on the internet and go to the Anti-Bullying website, they have a definition. And as we know, definition is an explanation of what it means. So have a listen to this. So there's some difficult words here, especially if you're little, but it's important to remember and think. So bullying is the repetitive, we'll come back to that, intentional hurting of one person or a group by another person or a group where the relationship involves an imbalance of power. Talk about that too. It can happen face to face or it can happen online. Right, there's a lot to unpick there. Bullying is the repetitive. Now, I'd like you to put your hands up and tell your teacher who's with you what repetitive means. Okay, thank you. It means over and over again. Now, sometimes in school, you may have an argument with your best friend. I know I've had my best friend since I was 11, and I still know them today, but I can think back and I've had arguments with them and we've fallen out. We've always got back together. And that's not a nice thing, but it's something where you can tell a teacher or you can sort it out between you, and it's one thing and you move on. That's not bullying. That is where somebody has fallen out, something's happened, and you move on. Bullying is totally different. Repetitive. It goes on and on and on and on. And can you imagine how that feels? To be made to feel sad on and on and on. The next word is bullying is repetitive, intentional. Do you know what intentional means? Well, it means that you do it on purpose. Sometimes you upset somebody almost by mistake. You say the wrong thing, or you walk into them on the stairs or something like that, and that's unintentional. You didn't mean to do it. At LIPA Primary, you still say sorry. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that, or I didn't mean that, and you explain yourself. Intentional means that you think it, you plan it, and you do it. Now, at LIPA Primary School, we do a lot of thinking and planning about our work and how we behave and how we are. But you think and plan how to make somebody unhappy. How bad is that? Okay, bullying is repetitive, intentional hurting of one person or a group. So it could be one person who's made to feel sad by doing this, or a group of friends maybe, by another person or a group. Okay? Where the relationship involves an imbalance of power. It's where the bully is powerful and it makes the other person feel really sad and upset. It can happen face to face or online. So it can happen anywhere. And we've talked so many times about the expectations of someone coming to LIPA primary school and how they talk to each other, and that extends to when you're online. And certainly as you will be getting older, you will be getting the opportunity to use social media, which is wonderful. My favourite social media is Twitter. I love finding out about things. But as we've said before, some people choose to use social media, even adults, you've probably seen in the news this week, really inappropriately, and some people use it to make other people upset. Now, I know in our classrooms now, as I'm saying this, there will be quiet, because people will be thinking, is that really true, Mr. Parker? Yes, it is, unfortunately, and we've got to think about it. And the most important thing, that imagine if you are that bully, how would you feel if somebody on and on and on, and it just doesn't happen to children, happens to grown-ups too. Some people who are working, maybe somebody at their work is mean to them on and on and on, and sometimes that bullying can be nasty words, or it can be actions, people hitting out. Both of them would make that person feel terrible. The best bit of advice, I think, firstly, is to talk to someone. Because if you're being bullied, it must feel like you've got no one to talk to. So the thing that you must do is talk to somebody who you trust. Firstly, it could be a friend, it could be a teacher, anybody, because keeping it inside, that is never, I promise, never going to solve the problem. Now, you know how one of my favourite parts of the morning is being outside down there, and love to chat, and one of the year 3 children having a chat with me earlier this week, and she was saying to me, what am I doing in this bit of the assembly? So I explained I'm doing about anti-bullying and having a chat, and she said, well, Mr. Park, she said, we don't have bullies in this school. And I thought, well, okay, that's good, that is good, but you've got to be careful with comments like that, because we've got to be wary. There could be somebody watching this video now who is planning in their heads to make somebody unhappy over and over and over again. There could be. Now, I'm not saying there is, and I hope there isn't, but there could be, and we've always got to be ready for that. And you've got to be ready, if it's you, to tell somebody, if it's you that's planning the bullying, to stop it, and also if you're a friend of somebody, to always keep an eye out for your friends, because it's nice that person told me we don't have bullies at this school, but as a school, we've always got to be ready to deal with it quickly and fairly. We've got to help out the person who's being bullied, and, believe it or not, yes, we've got to help the bully, because the bully is somebody who's made an incredibly bad choice. They've made that intentional decision to make somebody unhappy. Now, that doesn't make them a bad person, it makes them somebody who's making incredibly bad choices right now. And at LIPA Primary School, we can turn that round. And I'm confident that if we ever had this situation and we can speak to that bully and they can understand what they've made that person feel, and it would never happen again. And you know what? The first thing that I'd say to somebody in that situation is I'd look them square in the eyes and I'd say 2 words: LIPA values. Okay, all right, let's have a look at some brilliant work. Okay, thank you so much. There's that outside, everybody, there's me. Let's turn the camera around. Thank you so much, everybody, for continuing to bring this in. Darenika and Dan Shika and their mum, thank you for your jokes. We'll come back on that in a minute. So all of this work has been done at home. Now again, back to LIPA values. LIPA values is about learning. That's what the L stands for. And these are children who have gone home and wanted to do some work for me. Thank you, Oliver, for your lovely maths work. I've got pictures. Look at that. A young man in year 1 came with this to me to share me his writing. Thank you for that. Please keep it coming. But what I want to talk about is, remember last week I was talking about questions. The importance of when you're writing questions down to make them clear, to make them punctual, and to make them interesting. And I've got some brilliant questions here for me, and I'm going to read some of them. So every week some children give up their golden time and literally listen to what I'm asking them to do for the following week and just do it, and they come and see me before the end of the day. So I've got some really good shout outs. So Scarlett, thank you Scarlett, there's your work. And what I've done is I've highlighted a question. So Scarlett, please come and get a book sometime today. Beautiful work, I love how you presented it. And the question that I've highlighted at the bottom here, there you go, that I'm going to read out is, Mr. Parker, do you have any brothers and sisters? I do. I am the youngest of 3 brothers. I've got 2 older brothers, one called Tim, one called Chris. So I'm the youngest. I'm the baby. Thank you, Pascal. Again, look at the standard of work. Done in her own time. Golden time, she could be doing anything she wanted, and she's doing questions for me. Pascal, come and get a book. So good questions, Pascal, and the one that she's asking is, was a head teacher your first job? No, it wasn't. Okay, so when I was very young, my first job was working in a hotel. So I used to, and when it was very busy and they used to have parties in the hotel, I used to collect the glasses, take them to a machine and wash them, put them back on the shelves. And then when I got a bit older, I worked in a bar. And when I was a bit older than that, I used to work in something called a play scheme, sport coaching. So I used to coach, football, archery, tennis, rugby, cricket, probably some others I'm forgetting about. And then I trained to be a teacher. And from there, I taught in a school in Cronton. Then I taught in a school in Warrington, which is, where I'm from. Then I decided to go and teach the big ones, people who were training to be teachers at Edge Hill University. And then I came here. So, was I teach your first job? No. Who's next? Romy, thank you. Again, lovely work. And the question I've highlighted, who did you first employ to be a teacher? Okay, so we were counting the other day, we've got about 50 grown-ups in school today, but back in 2014 we didn't. So the first 2 people that we appointed were a teacher, some people will be able to remember Miss Yates, who was with us for 2 or 3 years, and the other person that we appointed is someone called Miss Johnston. Do you remember her? She's not called Miss Johnston anymore, Mrs. Lucas. And then very soon after we appointed Mrs. Heaney and Miss Wood, who are both still here, and Miss Connolly, who's still here, and Miss Williams, who's still here. And then each year we grew and grew and grew and grew, and we've got all the teachers who we've got now, and everybody else. Lexi, thank you. Come and get a book as well at some point today. Who helped you build LIPA? Good question. Lots of people. So right at the beginning, we had architects who designed the building for us inside, and then we had builders in who were knocking down walls. There was a guy called Pete, who some people remember, we used to call him Builder Pete, who organised everything for us. And then, since 2014, I could write a long list of people who've helped us. But in terms of building LIPA, and remember the building was still here, it was used by Liverpool John Moores University, but when we got it, we looked inside and thought, some work we've got to do here to make it a school. And that was where Builder Pete and the architects came in to help, and lots of other people. Lexi, thank you. Sophia, who always does work for me. How is your favourite football team? Everton, she asked. Well, Sophia, it's my dad's fault. Many, many years ago, my dad liked to play football, but he didn't have a football team, so he didn't know which team to support, so we went to Warrington bus station. So this would probably have been the late 1940s or the early 1950s, and him and his friends said, well, if the next bus goes to Manchester, we'll go there. If the next bus to Liverpool goes there. The next bus was to Liverpool, so they all went there. And then, in those days, everybody used to play on a Saturday at 3. So they got to Liverpool and they said, who's playing at home today? Is it Liverpool or Everton? And they found out that it was Everton, so they got the bus up to Goodison. And from that day, my dad was an Everton supporter, which means that I grew up supporting Everton. And if that bus timetable would have been different, it could have been very different for me, but it's not. Shout outs! Miss Flanagan says, can I give a shout out to all of the Lambalanas class for being so sensible during our circuit time this week? I was very proud of them all. Well done. Miss Yates, could I please give a shout out to Gabby in Sefton Park, please? Gabby has been tried super hard this week and is forever making me smile. Keep up the good work, Gabby. We are all super proud of you. Mr. Mason says, can I give a shout out to Hallie in the Bertie class, please? Since joining our school in September, Hallie has been a true captain persistent. Not only is she taking charge of her own learning in school, but also practicing her letter sounds at home. Super work, Gabby. A bit like those guys and the work we've just seen. Excuse me. She's even writing her own sentences. Remember, she's only in reception. She's only been here like 8 weeks or whatever. She's a superstar reader and all of reception teachers are so impressed. I'll bet they are. And so am I. Mrs. Lucas, she says, please can I do a strange shout out, please? It's for Miss McGee, who is always so positive, kind and helpful for everyone. She helped us out with a particularly tricky thing this week. She's always looking out for others and how she can make things even happier for those around her. Okay, I think it's time for a song. Okay, again, we've got a few birthdays. I know Benji, you were walking out of here yesterday, age 10. Well, it's Tuesday your birthday, wasn't it? But everybody else, happy birthday, stand up. Happy birthday. You know what? It's a big thing, a birthday, when you're 5 or you're 11. It's a big thing. So what did you get? Can you tell people in your class your 2 favourite presents? I remember when I was 7 or 8, my favourite present I wanted to get was Subutio. And you might not know what that is, but it's coming back. I've heard the adverts. Basically, it's like a football game where you have a carpet for a pitch and little players and you flip them. Oh, I used to love that game. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday if you've had a birthday this week. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Give them a clap, everyone. Well played, everybody. Happy birthday. It's time. Teachers, it's time. Finger ready. Press pause for this. Well done, everybody. If you've got one of these, only one person in every class gets one of these. I may need to photocopy some more very soon. So, there I was yesterday, on Thursday, planning the assembly. There's the plan. Doesn't all just come out of my head and mouth like that, you know, it's a plan and everything. And it was 5 o'clock and I was getting hungry. And it was Wednesday, not Thursday I was doing it. And I was kind of planning, I was getting hungry and I was thinking, I think I might treat everyone in our house to a chippy tea. And then I thought, I can do the maths questions based on chips. Now, I went into year 5 maybe last week, coincidentally, when this was happening. And a lot of the children had paper and pens and whiteboards answering these questions. And a couple of others didn't. So everyone, I want you working. You can work together in a group. Come on, let's do these questions. All right. The first question, when I go to the chippy, I do like to have a sausage. So here's the question. At the start of the day, the chippy had 12 sausages, and by 7 o'clock, 7 had been sold. How many are left? Number 2, the chippy opens at 4:30 and closes at 11 p.m. How long is it open? That's question 2. Question 3, back to those 12 sausages in question 1. If they cost 70p each, how much will the chippy make if they sell them all 12? And question 4, the really challenging one. On an average week, the chippy sells 216 fish. Working on this assumption, how many would they sell in a year? Okay, go. Here's your answers. Okay, question 1. The chippy's got 12 sausages at the start of the day. By 7 o'clock, they've sold 7. 5 sausages are left. And in true math style, you can't see it back to front, 5 sausages. Because in maths, you've got to put the full answer. Don't just put 5. 5 sausages, or if it's £5, whatever. Question 2. The chippy is open for 6.5 hours. You could have put 630 minutes, or if you're right clever clogs, you'd put 390 minutes. Any of those are right. 12 sausages in question 1. They cost 70p each. How much would the chippy make if they sell them all? £8.40. That's what you should have got. Next one, on an average week, they sell 216 fish. Working on this assumption, how many would they sell in a year? Well, you know there's 52 weeks times 216 fish, 11,232 fish. That is a lot of fish, but it's a whole year. Pause time, teachers. Here it is, reading, maths. If you've got either of those, extremely well done. It shows that progress, working hard. Again, I'll be down at the end of the day. Love to see what's written on the back. There's those ready for a little bit later. Okay, what are we going to do next? Okay, joke time. As we know, Logan and Leo are my OLJRCs, it's official LIPA joke research coordinators. But guys, I'm giving you a rest this week because thank you to Darenika and Danshika and their mum who have worked at home to do my jokes for this week. So are you ready? They've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. What music are balloons scared of? Pop music, of course. Number 2. What do you call a funny mountain? Hilarious. Hilarious. Number 3. What's the snake's favourite subject? Of course, it's history. Why are leopards so bad at playing hide and seek? Because they're always spotted. And last of all, what did the calculator say to the human? You can count on me. Great jokes, those girls. Thank you very much. And thank you, Darenika and Danshika's mum. Teachers, now's the time to press pause and check those emails. There should be, fingers crossed if it all goes well today, Dominic and Jacob and I should have done the draw, should have sent you an email which tells you who has won the golden ticket draw. So everyone who's got to gold has gone in the draw, and we have all the books there. And you know what? Last Friday I ordered, get this, £600 worth of new books, and they should be coming next week. So we've got a big choice there already, but whoa, that delivery is going to expand it hugely. So teachers, if you could let everybody know, and if you've won, come along this afternoon. We'll be in my office. I'll be working with some friends of mine. Come in and say hi as well. All right, I love this bit. It's called the book look. So this week it's year 2. There's a sticky. Isla, thank you. Your book has been chosen, Isla in Sefton Park class. Oh! And it's been chosen for your work on Wednesday the 10th of November, which is an account. So, first of all, beautiful handwriting, beautifully presented, lovely picture. And I'll read you a segment of it. Yesterday, we went to Chester Zoo, full stop. We went on a coach. I saw an elephant and a cheetah. My favourite animal, gosh, that's a difficult word to spell that, and you've done it, was a giraffe. So's mine. Okay, one thing, giraffe here has got a capital letter, it doesn't need one. That's the little bit to improve. And a cheetah and an elephant. The best part of the day was walking around with my friends and looking at the animals. We saw penguins and they all had... Oh, they didn't. We saw a tortoise and a turtle. Fantastic piece of work. Isla, well done. Okay, I've got Iron in Stanley Park's maths book. And there's the sticky label, which tells me to turn to this page. Again, the first thing that jumps out to me is the quality of presentation. Because books are important for so many reasons. Gosh, it's where you write down and write down all your work, and the teachers can see how you're doing. But also think about me and Mrs. Lucas and maybe, I don't know, Mrs. Delaney and all the other teachers who don't get into all of the classrooms all of the time and just want to know how things are going. Sometimes the teachers are too busy to talk, so I will just pick up Ian's maths book and that will tell me how she's doing. Ian, you've done really well here, and I like Miss Wright's challenge. Miss Wright has 3 bags of apples, each bag has 5 apples. How many apples does Miss Wright have? And look at the working out there. So we've done 3 groups of 5, repeated addition, but we know that 5 add 5 add 5 is 15. Super work, Aya. Thank you for sharing. Mathilde, again, oh, we've got another account. Mathilde, again, quality of work, that jumps out to me. Thank you so much. Yesterday, we went to Chester Zoo. Well, it wasn't yesterday, but you know what I mean. I saw a monkey. There was a terrible smell, exclamation mark. Then we saw, a monkey's smelly. I didn't know that. Then we saw bears. We saw brown bears. Then we saw some penguins. I never thought they had them, she says, she writes. We saw anteaters. Aren't they also called aardvarks? Just a thought. They were so cute. This is outstanding writing. There were hedgehogs. They were so cute too. And I even saw parrots. I didn't even realise it repeated something. We saw elephants and there was a Christmas tree. Christmas already? That was the funniest thing. We even saw butterflies. It was very hot in there. We saw crocodiles. I thought they were going to eat me. Didn't notice how I read that. It was because it was so exciting, and the exclamation marks and the grammar was such. And I'm really pleased that I've also got a sketchbook from Leanne. And I know that year two, it says year one because you keep your sketchbooks. I've been doing all about Andy Warhol and pop art. And there she is, smiling away. So there's a very, very famous picture like that, which Leanne has adapted. Year two, thank you so much. And I know that there could have been so many books that could have been shared with me. Well done, especially to the 4 that have been shared. And next week, I think it's year 4's turn. I can't remember, but I think it's year 4's turn. All right, golden medals time. Miss McGee, who did you choose? Well, she says, she wrote to me. I'd like to choose Hugo in Stanley Park, please, in year 2. For my gold medal. He's such an enthusiastic person. He comes into school each day with such a positive mood. His positivity is infectious. He's a great captain, inquisitive. He always has a smile on his face. Hugo, for you. Miss Murphy, up in year 5, she says, I'd like to give my choice to Nancy, please, for being captain persistent and working really hard on her independent tasks. Nancy, so much of that sentence makes me smile and be happy. Captain Persistent, I love Captain Persistent. Do you remember I had to be Captain Persistent at school with my maths? Working really hard, I love that, on independent tasks. That is just so many good things in one sentence, especially during writing apparently, so well done for that. She's always trying to improve her own writing and is always asking to work on her own writing during golden time. What kind of attitude is that? No wonder you're getting this. Phenomenal. She's also an excellent role model for others, and I'll add this bit, bracket, she's also an Evertonian hoping for a win away at Manchester City on Sunday. Nancy, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Okay, so you're thinking 2 gold medals gone, 2 to go, you'd be right. Okay, the next one is Miss Smith down in reception, and she said, I would like to choose Bassam, please, because he's been a great role model for all children in reception. He's settled in really well, and he tries his best in everything excuse me, he does. And she says, well done, Bassam, we are really proud of you. Miss Hartley says, I chose Harley for the gold medal this week. She's been absolutely fabulous in maths and really challenged herself. Oh, I'm loving that word. Challenged, tick, herself. Double tick. Really challenged herself to complete her work independently. Tick, that's 3 ticks. She's a great role model, tick 4, for lamb bananas, and is always ready and enthusiastic for a day of learning. Tick 5. Oh my word, your mum and dad have to hear that. That is so wonderful. Miss Hartley, thank you. Well done, Harley. There's our 4 gold medals for this week. I wonder who's going to get it next week. Okay, no questions this week. I just love the artwork, the maths, the English, the science that I'm given throughout the day when children have done some work, and also especially at home. So just a massive, massive plea to keep that work coming, and I think I will choose the best 3 or 4 and share those next week, and they can have the books. And hopefully by the time next week comes, that £600 delivery of books will be right there. I might even need some help unpacking it and sorting it, so I may well give some people a shout if they're up for that. All right, have a lovely weekend, everybody. It's going to get cold next week, so get your winter woolies out. I will see you at the end of the day, and have a lovely weekend. Bye.